Oh, what's up, you wonderful people? I hope you've been having a good day today. So I wanted to talk about something that I think really has to be said. To be honest, I've been getting a bit emotional recently. I think what it is, I've been thinking about the kids and, them having to put up with being filmed on Christmas Day, as I've said before. No child should ever have to put up with that. It's not that's not something that any child should genuinely have to put up with. They shouldn't have to. It shouldn't be. It's not fair at the end of the day. I think what is upsetting me more is knowing that people actually agree with that and knowing that people think that's fair. If you think about it, kids for the last, 8 years or however many years now it's been, how many years they've been vlogging, those kids have never known, have not been able to enjoy Christmas Day where where they're not being filmed for that special Christmas Day vlog content. It's just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. It's like, we can all look forward to enjoying Christmas Day, relaxing, whatever. But that's not something the kids can look forward to. All they have to look forward to is mummy and daddy standing there filming them for flipping vlog content on Christmas Day. Like at the end of the day, I'm sick of being made to feel like a bad person for being so against what these family vloggers do. Like, no one ever deserves to be made to feel like a bad person because they're so against that. People have good reasons perfectly good reasons for why they're so against what these family vloggers do. And as I said, it is upsetting that people are constantly willing to defend these family vloggers and defend what they do. Because it stands to reason that people shouldn't be defending what they do. Like, people shouldn't be supporting what they do or defending what they do. It just stands to reason. I'm not gonna sit here defending people for that and saying that I think that what they're doing is right. I think that what they're doing is completely fair.
Is one
because
person
it's not.
couple A and another.
It's selfish, it's cruel, and it's completely unfair. Absolutely 100%. It's cruel, selfish, and unfair, completely unfair, and I stand by that, 110%. I'll stand by that as much as I have to. I'm not gonna, apologise for having the opinion that I think it's wrong and that I don't think it's fair, because it's not fair. And it's just, of course people like us and Sarah will think it's fair, and of course the iFam will think it's fair. That just goes to show what sort of people they really are. At least I actually care. At least I give a shit, which is more than can actually be said for any of the iFam. Because it's clear that none of them give a shit. It's clear that none of them care. I don't get how as I've said before, I don't get how anybody would think that's fair. Like, no decent person would ever think that's fair. It has to be said. No decent person would ever think that's fair. And if people think it is fair, then shame on them. I'm not gonna apologise for basically having to go at these people who actually think it's fair. I'm not gonna apologise for saying that people shouldn't be supporting these family vloggers and supporting what they do. No child should ever have to put up with being filmed on Christmas Day. I don't care if people think that I think it's wrong for me to say that, or, if people think it's wrong that I'm saying it's unfair. Because I know I'm not wrong for saying it's unfair. I know that I'm the one that's in the right because I'm saying it's not fair. Because it isn't at the end of the day. Regardless of what people think, it isn't fair. It's not something that any child should have to put up with. I don't care what people think, I don't care where, if people do think that's fair, because it's not fair. And the sooner people actually start realising that, the better. As I said, no decent person would ever think that was fair. No decent person would ever think that a child would think it was fair that a child should have to put up with that. Because they shouldn't. No child should ever have to put up with being filmed on Christmas Day. They should never have to put up with that. But sadly, that's what these kids are having to put up with. And it's wrong. It's like... maybe, obviously Isabel, Esme and Isla, maybe they have known, Christmases that don't revolve around them being filmed. For, the vlog content. But Jace and Mila, they've never actually had a Christmas where they've not had to put up with being filmed on Christmas Day. That's the only thing they've ever known is every Christmas Day. Mummy and Daddy are standing there filming them for vlog content. That's all they've ever known. That's all Christmas Day has ever been to them. Been for them is Mummy and Daddy standing there filming them for vlog content, just like any other day. But no child deserves to have to put up with that. And if people think that children deserve that, or people think that's actually fair, then shame on them. Really, seriously, shame on them. I will say, there's no words for how pissed off I am about the fact that people are willing to support this and willing to condone this, are willing to say that they actually think it's fair, because it's not. It's not and never will be fair. And it's appalling to think that people actually think it is fair, because it's not. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else I'm supposed to say that I haven't already said. But I'm not going to be made to feel like a bad person for voicing my opinions or for thinking that, thinking it's wrong. People can call me what they want. They can call me a troll, they can call me a bully, they can call me a jealous hater, or a hater in general. I don't care what people like the iFam, think of me. Their opinion of me does not matter. I don't value their opinion. And I never will value their opinion. Their opinions mean absolutely nothing to me. Because they are the ones in the wrong. Because they're the ones that clearly don't give a shit. They're the ones that are supporting this and saying they think it's fair. So who's more wrong? The people who are saying it's not fair, or the people who are saying it is fair? I would say that it's the people who are saying it is fair that are more in the wrong than anyone else. Because nobody in their right mind would ever think it's fair that he should have to put up with being filmed on Christmas bloody day of all days. It's just not right. It's, as I said, it's cruel, it's selfish, it's unfair, and it's wrong on every single level. It's wrong in every possible way. There's nothing good about it. There's nothing positive about it. It's not something that any child should have to put up with. I get that some people think it's fair, but it's genuinely not. And, people need to stop acting like it is. Because it really, really isn't. And I'm not going to apologise for saying that it's not fair, because it really isn't fair. And if people think I'm such a bad guy for saying that, then so be it. But at least I'm not one of these people that's willing to support this and say they think it's fair. And I never will be, and I never will think it's fair. Because, it really genuinely isn't. And it shocks me to think that people do actually think it's fair, because it's not and never will be fair. And if me saying that makes me a bad person, and so be it. As I said, so be it, I have nothing to apologise for. Why should I apologise for saying that I don't think it's fair that he should have to put up with being filmed on Christmas Day? I don't see why I should have to apologise for saying that or for having that opinion. You know, I'm never ever going to apologise for having that opinion or for thinking, or for saying that. I always say that people are not going to stop me from having that opinion, and are not going to stop me from saying that as much as I can. You know, I will say that and voice that opinion as much as I possibly can. People are not going to silence me in any possible way. They might think they can silence me, but they won't. Because I'll just keep voicing my opinion, I'll keep making that opinion, stating that opinion, I'll keep saying it's not fair, because it isn't. You know, I'm never ever gonna say that I do think it's fair, because it's not, and it never will be fair for any child to have to part with being filled on Christmas Day. That is never ever going to be fair. That's not right, it's not fair. You know, it is cruel, it is selfish. You know, it is wrong. As I said, it is wrong on every single level, and in every single possible way. If people are actually willing to condone this, then fucking shame on them. I honestly don't get how anybody could condone this, because it's not condonable. There's just no condoning it. You know, there really isn't. If people really think there's any that there is any condoning this, then they are absolute morons, or cretins, or fools, or whatever. You know, I had to do this video. You know, this had to be said. Like, as I said, I honestly don't get how anybody would think this was fair. There's no decent person would think that it is fair, but sadly, some people do, and that just goes to show that they're not decent people. Because if they were a decent person, they wouldn't be supporting this. They wouldn't think it was fair. That goes to show that they're not the decent people they think they are. They might think they're decent people, but they're actually willing to support these family vloggers. I mean, do they really think that supporting what these family vloggers do makes them decent people? Makes them actually decent human beings? Because it really doesn't. It makes them nasty, vile human beings. That's what it makes them. You know, it makes them shameful, pathetic human beings. Because that's the sort of people that support family vloggers, is shameful, pathetic human beings. You can't see that what these family vloggers are doing is wrong. You know, and keep denying it every time someone calls them out for what they do. You know, as I said, I'm not gonna apologise for anything I've said in this video. It quite frankly had to be said. I'll see you for another video, and I'll see you for another video soon. Bye bye.
For example, and of course, with Sharon Gate. The second ingredient is one person from couple A